Coming up on NEWS2, a salute to thank those who have served and members who are still serving. Highlights from the commemoration of Veterans Day, St. Thomas, St. Croix and St. John. The territory's hospitals are both losing money in millions. This is according to a report from the CFOs at the Territorial Hospital Board meeting. Plus, over the weekend, surgeries were performed inside the spay wagon. Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gamansing. Across the territory, veterans were recognized all weekend for their service and contributions to freedom in this country. On Monday, that honor continued with parades in both districts. NEWS2's Erica Parsons has more from St. Croix.
Dozens lined the sidewalks for the annual Veterans Day Parade in Frederiksted. Military organizations, youth groups, and schools marched from the Frederiksted Post Office Square, down King Street, and all the way to Budhoe Park, where the Veterans Day program was being held.
We are here today to honor our service members and remember their sacrifices.
Parade goers and participants turned out in huge numbers to honor vets for the freedoms they fought for and continue to fight for. It was in following with this year's theme, Thank you for your service.
With a grateful heart, I say, thank you. Thank you, veterans, for your service.
The VI has more than 4,000 veterans currently and a long history of serving this nation.
Veterans were the first that saw the transfer of naval rule from 1917 to 1931. In July of 1942, our legislature passed a resolution asking the president to allow Virgin Islanders to be part of the draft and to be able to apply to the United States military. Prior to that time, they would go to Puerto Rico. By 1943, we went from 27 to over 270 Virgin Islanders that took that oath and proudly decided that they wanted to serve their country.
It's that dedication that speakers focused on and praised veterans for.
They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, integrity.
And while Monday was the day marked to remember veterans by, speakers urged everyone to say thank you every day of the year.
We all need to make an effort to remember our veterans and active military, not only on specified holidays, but all year round. A small act of kindness goes a long way. It is up to us to ensure that every veteran feels that his or her service to this country is appreciated by their fellow Americans.
Erica Parsons, NEWS2.
Meanwhile, on St. Thomas, Veterans Day celebrations were also in full swing. Residents got together to witness a well-attended Veterans Day parade that started today around mid-afternoon. It began at the Adelita Cancrine Junior High and culminated at Roosevelt Park, where a big ceremony was held in honor of those who served in the military. Many military-affiliated organizations participated, including schools who showed off their JROTC cadets and marching bands, all in honor of our veterans.
It is a day for remembrance, gratitude, and exhilaration. Today we remember the sacrifices of our veterans who have gone before us, thank those veterans still in our midst, and exhort each other and our young to live up to their example of selfless service for the common good.
Thank you to our veterans, active, inactive, missing in action, prisoners of war, and the service that you do on behalf of so many of us. The sacrifices that you make and continue to make, we are most grateful.
Meanwhile, a little history lesson. Veterans Day, formerly known as Armistice Day, is a day that we pay tribute to all American veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime. This holiday is dedicated to American veterans of all wars. And NEWS2's Shanika Robinson has more information about its significance.
On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, an armistice was declared between the Allied nations and Germany in the First World War, then known as the Great War. Commemorated as Armistice Day beginning the following year, November 11th became a legal federal holiday in the United States in 1938. In the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War, Armistice Day became Veterans Day, a holiday dedicated to American veterans of all wars.
Without the brave efforts of all of the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guard men and women and their families, our country would not enjoy the freedoms that we so take for granted today.
Veterans Day is not to be confused with Memorial Day, which seems to be a common misunderstanding according to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Memorial Day honors American service members who died in service to their country or as a result of injuries acquired during battle, while Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or deceased, but especially giving thanks to the living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime.
Veterans Day 2013, we remember them all, those of our world wars, those of Korea, those who served in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere around the world. But we also add a special thank you to our Vietnam veterans for all of the thank yous that they did not get when they returned home.
Not only is today Veterans Day, but the entire month of November is recognized as Military Family Appreciation Month. This month is dedicated to honoring the commitment and sacrifices made by the families of the nation's service members. Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
And be sure to count on News 2 to keep you updated on upcoming events during Military Family Month. Meanwhile, Delegate to Congress Donna Christensen saluted all Virgin Islands veterans and joins in celebrating Veterans Day, as we just saw. According to Delegate Christensen, the community cannot say enough about bravery, courage, dedication, and commitment of the veterans to the territory and to the United States. She said that during the last decade, the community has been reminded of the cost of freedom and how the community pays for it with the lives of our young men and women. Christensen participated during the Veterans Day events on all three islands. Senator Tregenza Roach also joined the community in celebrating Veterans Day. He encourages the people of the Virgin Islands to extend respect to all veterans and thank them for their continuing service to the territory and the nation. According to Roach, the veterans' service to the country is deserving of every honor and forever be commended. He said that the rights of all Americans are remained protected, partly due to the steadfast role of the military and the men and women who serve in it. Meanwhile, the Christensen National Historic Site was free during the holiday weekend. No fees were charged at any U.S. national parks in recognition of Veterans Day. The Christensen Historic Site is St. Croix's only national park that charges an entrance fee. Visitors took advantage of the fee-free day to see some of the oldest buildings listed in the Federal Registry that the National Park Service maintains. Visitors also looked at the recently opened Christensen Neighborhoods exhibits and toured Fort Christensen. AT&T wants veterans to know that every year they hire hundreds of military veterans to join the team worldwide. GI Jobs magazine has recognized AT&T as one of the top 50 most military-friendly employers for 7 consecutive years. Through the Career for Vets Job Search Advisor program, more than 700 transitioning veterans have received job search guidance from approximately 200 AT&T veterans. Through the Veterans Talent Network, AT&T also provides veterans with a newsletter and texts regarding information on openings and events. They provide localized job notifications to all branches of the military through military transition offices, military alumni programs, and career fairs focused on veterans. Meanwhile, today, thousands gathered in Washington, D.C. to remember the bravery and sacrifices of those who fought in America's war. President Barack Obama led the attendees and gave this address to honor the veterans.
To our nation, and for being a tireless advocate on behalf of America's veterans, including your fellow Vietnam veterans. To Vice President Biden and Dr. Jill Biden, Secretaries Hagel and Perez, today we gather once more to honor patriots who have rendered the highest service any American can offer this nation. Those who fought for our freedom and stood sentry for our security. On this hillside, fully repay. In the life of our nation, across every generation, there are those who stand apart. They step up, they raise their hands, they take that oath, they put on the uniform, and they put their lives on the line. They do this so that the rest of us might live in a country and a world that is safer, freer, and more just. This is the gift they've given us. This is the debt that we owe them. They fought on a green and sacrifices that are made in our name. Today reminds us of our sacred obligations. For even though this time of war is coming to a close, our time of service to our newest veterans has only just begun. So when we talk about fulfilling our promises to our veterans, we don't just mean for a few years. We mean now, tomorrow, and forever. And not just for generations past, but part in the American story. Today, our message to all those who've ever worn the uniform of this nation is this: we will stand by your side, whether you're 7 days out or, like Richard, 70 years out. Because here in America, we take care of our own. We honor the sacrifice that has been made in our name for this nation that we love, and we commit ourselves to standing by these veterans and their families for as long as we're blessed to walk this earth. God bless you all. God bless our veterans. God bless our men and women in uniform, and God bless these United States of America. Thank you.
And in other top stories, Typhoon Haiyan was potentially the strongest storm to make landfall when it swept over the Philippines Friday. Defense officials say it will be hard to get aid to those who need it the most, since some of the areas are so devastated that transportation is impossible. Getting an accurate count of casualties is hard with communication systems down in many areas. President Obama says his thoughts and prayers go out to the people affected by the storm and has ordered the Pentagon to deploy Marines to assist in recovery efforts. Keeping our eye on the economy, Wall Street paused for a moment of silence to honor America's veterans on this holiday. The stock market was open, but bond markets were closed. Amazon says there's no time for a day of rest when it comes to online holiday buying. The online retailer has announced it will offer Sunday delivery in New York, Los Angeles to customers who qualify for free 2-day shipping. The service will be rolled out just in time for last-minute holiday shopping. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank's Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 21, Nasdaq 1, S&P 1. Coming up on News 2 over the weekend, surgeries were performed inside the Spay waggin, a mobile operating room. Some 140 pets and stray animals benefited from the Spay-Neuter Island Pets event. Black Angels over Tuskegee is a story told in narrative of 6 men embarking upon a journey to become pilots in the United States Army Air Forces. The play explores their collective struggle, challenging their intelligence, patriotism, brotherhood. The play goes beyond the headlines of popular stories and reveals the heart and soul of the Tuskegee Airmen who exhibited the courage to excel in spite of all the overwhelming odds against them. In honor of Veterans Day, many attended the production at the Reichel over the weekend, featuring Lamont Rucker, best known for his work with actor-director Tyler Perry. The actors shared their thoughts about the Tuskegee Airmen.
The Tuskegee Airmen, who were Army Air Corps fighter pilots in World War II. And it not only gives the history lesson about that that day and time, but it really is a stronger story about not just survival, but really about excellence, self-determination, achievement, unity, and really how important it is that even in the face of any kind of adversity, that you're capable of overcoming it.
There are a number of angles. I mean, one would be brotherhood. There's just the whole idea of working together and striving for a goal, striving for the same goal. Another thing, big theme of the play is just perseverance. It's just all of the struggles that these men have gone through and how they managed to persevere and set an example for, just for people of color all over, not just the United States, but throughout the world.
So the fact that we have this play has like 6 brothers who they meet as strangers but become brothers, and because of that brotherhood propels them to great things. And no man is an island, so it takes more people within your community to help you get to the places that you want to reach. And if we can impart anything with the lovely people here in the Virgin Islands, that would be it.
In other news, the territory's hospitals are both losing money in millions. This is according to a report by chief financial officers at the Territorial Hospital Board meeting late last week. There, it was noted that while both hospitals are losing roughly the same amount, there is a gaping discrepancy in the revenue to loss ratios, and Juan Louis Hospital seems to be losing faster than Schneider. Both CFOs based their figures on unaudited financial reports. Juan Louis Hospital's audit have already begun, while Schneider's is scheduled to begin in January 2014. Well, over the weekend, some 140 pets and stray animals benefited from the Spay-Neuter Island Pets event. The event was held at the Humane Society campus and spearheaded by the Lucky Paws Foundation. Volunteer veterinarians and vet technicians were flown in from Boston and performed surgeries inside the spay wagon, a mobile operating room. Organizers urged the community to consider spaying or neutering to prevent animal overpopulation and its consequence, having to put down animals. You can call 513-1845 for more information or low-cost spaying or neutering. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.